Speaking on the social, psychological impact of the war on Liberian youth, that you said, and I quote, a whole generation of young men had no idea who they were without a gun in their hands. Has that identity crisis changed even like how many, 8 years down the line after the war ended?
I think what you see happening in our community is that you find a lot of young people grouping in the dark because they still cannot find a purpose for their lives in peacetime. So they thrive on chaos. When there is a riot, they will appear. When there is something, because when things are quiet and calm, they really cannot understand or they don't know how they're supposed to function. So little things that are supposed to be resolved nicely and calmly end up into street fights, end up into someone pulling a knife or something. So it's a difficult process, but I think if we double our efforts in that country to work with those young people, we are going to get to a place. Because when you talk to a lot of them, what I see, especially with the young child soldiers who are now men having their own children, you see they're about 28 now, 30, 25, but you still, when they're talking to them, you still see an 8-year-old trapped in this man who's also having children, you know. So you because they're kind of like arrested at that place of their development where they were forced to grow up overnight. We need to do a lot of work, we need to do a lot of counseling, but beyond counseling, we need to do more to provide some of those services that they need: food, shelter, clothing, because the way of life for most of them is standing in front of supermarkets and begging for alms.
I know in Nigeria we have a similar issue with the Niger Delta militants and the amnesty program and all that. Do you think education is like a major way of breaking that cycle?
Well, I think giving them options, because most times what we do is say that, okay, we are the ones who are normal, quote unquote, in communities, and we have to decide for these people. But I think they have their own ideas, what they want to do, where they want to go. And at the end of the day, one of those boys that I've worked with from the time he was, 16, up until today, learned the trade of shoemaking. A year or two ago, he came to me and said he wanted to build a little booth to do shoemaking next to a high school. I gave him the money. He's there, and now he sees me. You will never see him in front of the supermarket begging anymore. He told me the other day, guess what? I found a girl, and I'm getting married soon. But for me, I see a kind of fulfillment in his life. I'm earning something. I don't have to be in people's faces every day, and I don't have to listen to their insults. Children come to me, I fix their shoes, they give me $5-10 Liberian dollars. I'm able to eat something before going to bed. Life is good, especially for a child or young man who lost one of his legs during the war. So I think any programs for militant we need to sit with these young people and say, where do you want to go? How do you see your contribution beyond the guns in this society? Not to say education, soap making, because for all you know, someone will be telling you, I want to go back to my village and be a farmer. Yeah. And all I need is the farming implements and the seeds to do what I need to do, yeah.
And you can be empowered even in that. What does having a female president do for the average Liberian woman?
Well, I have seen a lot of, or if I may say, increase confidence and tenacity in women, specifically young women who are now like going for positions that they would never go for before. One of my favorite stories I tell was in 2006, immediately after President Sirleaf's first election. My daughter was in elementary school at the time and had just come back home from my graduate studies. There was this inauguration of elementary school presidents. And I came home, my mother said, oh, your daughter won her elections. And she said, Mama, I ran my campaign, I made promises to the people, but it was just like a modeling of everything that they had seen. We got to that school, and there were 12 presidents to be inaugurated at that elementary school representing their different classes. Only 2 were boys.
Wow.
So I was like, oh my God, but this is what it has done. And the UN gave report of an increase in adult literacy, especially for women going back to school, women who are saying, I don't want to go and use my thumbprint in a bank anymore. I want to sign. I want to be able to write my name. So most of them, the drive is just to write your name. That is the kind of, so you've seen that, you've seen a whole population of women who know their rights, who go out and speak about things that they would traditionally not be talking about. Yeah.